Navigating the Liminal Places. How to harness the power of transitional moments of your life. Authored by Cerissa LaToi McKinnis. Narrated by Cerissa LaToi McKinnis. Chapter 7. The Bathroom. We've arrived at the final segment of the Master Suite, or as some like to call it, the retreat within our homes. The bathroom. While the mention of it might conjure thoughts of dirt and grime, let's not forget that this is where we step in dirty and emerge refreshed and clean. These spaces hold immense potential for transformation in our lives. Many of us have found inspiration within these walls, flipping through the books and magazines, receiving insights, and even hearing messages from the Lord. In essence, the bathroom serves a multifaceted purpose. It's a place to relieve ourselves of waste, to cleanse both body and mind, to attain clarity, and to groom our appearance. Traditionally, master bathrooms were equipped with at least 3 to 4 fixtures: a tub, a shower, a toilet, and a vanity. However, like other aspects of our living spaces, this room has undergone a transformation. I've personally lost count of how many master bathrooms I've worked on where we removed the tub to create a more spacious shower. But amidst these changes, one aspect remains constant in our industry: the concept of zones. Zones form the foundation of a master bathroom's layout, and they are organized around its primary fixtures. There are 3 primary zones: the toilet, the bathing area, and the grooming area. Join me as we embark on a journey to uncover the transformative qualities that this space holds. The toilet zone. Our journey in this chapter begins with the toilet, the place where we empty ourselves of waste and excess. Of all of the zones in the bathroom, this one gets the most daily use. We visit the toilet multiple times a day, from that first morning visit to those throughout the day, right up to one final stop before bedtime. In the most desirable master bathrooms, you'll find separate toilets, and there's a good reason for it: privacy. The act of disposing waste is not something meant for an audience. It's a personal, private moment between you and the Lord. It's quite amusing that as I write this, I find myself reflecting on the fundamental question: why do we have to go number 1 and number 2? Why is it even necessary when, truth be told, many of us don't particularly enjoy it? But then I had an encounter with a situation that shed light on the importance of this bodily function. I once knew someone whose teenager experienced severe constipation for days, even weeks. While this might not seem like a significant issue at first, it is in fact both unpleasant and highly dangerous. This extreme form of constipation is referred to as impaction. If not treated, it can be life-threatening. The teenager's condition was so severe that regular laxatives couldn't provide relief. They had to rush her to the doctor, who promptly admitted her to the hospital. She needed medical intervention to flush out the accumulated waste. You see, waste is not meant to linger in our bodies. Just like in manufacturing or construction, there are always byproducts that must be disposed of properly. Now picture this. You've hired my team of luxury contractors to renovate your master bathroom. We've carefully selected beautiful tiles, fixtures, and all of the elements to create your dream space. Let's fast forward to the installation of your exquisite tile floors. Tile arrives in boxes, accompanied by mortar and grout. When I work on design projects, I always order slightly more tile than necessary because some tiles will need to be cut to fit the space. These cut tiles are essentially waste. Imagine that your new bathroom floor has been meticulously installed, but we leave behind all the tile cuts, the waste. How would that impact you? Keep in mind that tile installation isn't the final step in the process. Waste tiles now clutter the space, hindering the crew from effectively completing the project. There's barely room to bring in the other elements needed to finish the job. The presence of waste not only obstructs the crew's movement, but also hinders the entire project's progress. Just as eliminating waste is crucial in construction, it's equally essential in our lives. The Father has masterfully designed our bodies to discern what is useful and what is waste. We too must turn to Him to rid ourselves of waste. Think of it like pruning an apple tree. Throughout its life, a tree requires periodic pruning. Without it, the tree's growth becomes stunted. Similarly, we must learn to be comfortable with releasing things that God deems as waste as we journey through the liminal places of our life. Just release it. The bathing zone. Yes, we're jumping into the realm of bathing here. In our modern lives, bathing serves two distinct purposes, offering this liminal place two unique avenues for harnessing its transformative potential. The initial purpose has remained unchanged since the advent of the tub, a place to get clean, to wash away the dirt. Some of it is the residue of our own making, some a byproduct of our labor, and some simply acquired from our journey through various environments. The more contemporary use of the bathing area, on the other hand, leans towards relaxation, a place to unwind and simply be. Personally, whether I'm taking a bath or a shower, the experience is deeply reflective. When it comes to bathing, I do relish in a good soak. However, my preference is to start with a shower to rid myself of the day's grime. Then I immerse myself. I enter a reflective state, contemplating whatever subject matter I've chosen to explore within this liminal space. It's an opportunity for me to sit in the presence of God just as I am. Getting clean. Getting clean is very important. Good hygiene is paramount. And it's not just so you don't stink. It's so you don't develop any infections. In getting clean, we have a primary tool. Aside from the water that we use to get the job done, soap. Soap has one job: trapping dirt so that it can be rinsed off. In making the decision to choose Christ, we choose to answer the Lord's knock. He says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, he will come into him and will dine with him, and he with me." Revelations 3:20. When we make that choice, He takes us and washes us white as snow. This washing justifies us. It seals the deal on our salvation. While we have a new heart, our mind and our soul still have a lifelong process to undertake. A consistent cleaning, so to speak. This daily cleaning is called sanctification. And in this very important liminal place, the Lord sanctifies us. Being cleaned doesn't always feel good. It's not always a pleasurable experience. I am reminded of the grit of salt and sugar scrubs. While their exfoliating properties don't feel very good, the results are worth it because they get down deep and remove dead skin scales that normal soap typically doesn't remove. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my anxious thoughts, and see if there is any hurtful way in me, and lead me in the everlasting way. Psalms 139:23-24. As I said in the beginning of this zone breakdown, some of the dirt residue is our own making, some a byproduct of our labor, and some simply acquired from our journeys through various environments, all of which hang to us like dead skin cells in need of a slightly abrasive scrub to wash it away. This is a purification, and the psalmist is asking for it. Do you know what the phrase "try me" really means? Nope, he's not talking about samples, and it's also not fighting words. In fact, one of the definitions for the word try is to melt down and get to a pure state. The example Webster gives refers to trying out whale oil from blubber. And what does the process look like? It's hot. They essentially cook the blubber to separate what is useful, what is needed. Now, what was whale oil once used for? It was used as fuel for lamps. My friends, our cleansing is necessary for our own transformation, and necessary so that our oil can be used to shine a light in this dark world. When I found myself in liminal places, I've experienced that there is almost always something that God wants to clean up out of me. And like the psalmist, we should submit to that cleaning. Reflecting. Now that we are clean, it's time to go to another portion of this vital zone, reflection. One of the definitions of reflection is the consideration of some subject matter, idea, or purpose. Essentially, it's thinking. It is an action. For this journey, I invite you to envision yourself preparing for a soothing bath or an invigorating shower. Today, we have the luxury of bath bombs and shower bombs, both crafted from simple ingredients like baking soda, citric acid, and essential oils and fragrances. These little creations elevate our bathing experience to one of pure relaxation. During one of my recent shower reflections, I found myself pondering the concept of liminality. What draws me to it? It was in this intimate space that the Lord shared a profound insight with me, evoking memories of my beloved mother, Flora. You see, Flora was a masterful navigator of liminal places, a trait I wrote about in my college admission essay. Her tenacity for learning and her ability to persevere in uncomfortable situations were nothing short of remarkable. Her military career, which began at the non-commissioned officer rank and culminated in the rank of lieutenant colonel on her way to becoming a full-fledged colonel, attests to her knack for harnessing the power of every transitional moment. Allow me to share a personal story from my high school days. As a freshman, I aspired to join my school's dance line, proudly representing Randolph Rohawks. However, during my first tryout, I didn't make the cut, and disappointment weighed heavily on me. It was my mother who sat me down and posed two crucial questions. Do you truly want to be on that team? Are you willing to put in the work? My resounding yes to both questions ignited her to challenge me. She saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. I had the ability to dance. The only obstacle blocking my path was my lack of flexibility, particularly my inability to perform the splits. Attending a school on a military base presented me with a unique opportunity. Tryouts were held again at the beginning of the school year, granting me the summer to work on my flexibility. In that liminal place, my mother encouraged me to embrace. I worked diligently. I learned specific stretches and aimed in achieving the splits. There were moments of pain and countless instances when quitting seemed tempting, but I clung to my goal with unwavering determination. The fruits of my labor did not manifest immediately. It took a month of rigorous training before I noticed even the slightest progress. Yet when the time for tryouts rolled around again, I accomplished what I had set out to achieve. My mother greeted me with a bouquet of flowers, recognizing that I poured my heart and soul into this endeavor and that I would reap the rewards. And indeed, I did. From this very reflection, I learned that my mother was shaping me with the tools and skills to navigate the uncomfortable areas of my life. While she transitioned from this earth earlier than I expected, she passed down a wealth of knowledge and wisdom that has given me the fortitude to endure many storms and treacherous terrains. I realized I was drawn to this subject matter because my mother lived it. I hope you can see that reflection holds immense importance, serving as a compass that guides us through our journey, reminding us of how far we've come and the obstacles we've triumphed over. When weariness sets in and the path ahead seems daunting, take a moment to reflect. Ponder the tapestry of life and recognize the unmistakable presence of God along every step of your remarkable journey. The grooming zone. We've eliminated waste. We've cleansed ourselves, bathed, and reflected. Now it's time to groom ourselves. The key elements of this area include the vanity, which may include storage, the sink, faucets, mirror, lighting, and outlets. An optional item might include seating. Now let's retrieve the clothes we selected from the closet and complete our preparations. This is where all our efforts in the bathroom come together. After you've followed the steps discussed in this chapter, you are now ready to proceed with your day. Often moments of reflection in this space inspire us to research something, study something, or take action. There's a reason why waterproof notepads for the shower exist. Trust me, they're a thing. Personally, I keep my phone nearby so I can jot down thoughts. In fact, a portion of my coaching program was downloaded from God in the shower. After I finished grooming, I headed to my office to start working it out.